Hey, Frankie, talk a little bit about just facing Dallas, what you know about that offense, even with their 3-7 record, which doesn't matter, probably a divisional game too.
I think their scheme and everything is still there. Dak is not there, but I know as a team, their scheme and man, they're hungry. We know they're hungry to come out for a win. It's a division game, and I've been on that side of not winning games, things ain't going well, and we're just trying to we're gonna play all out or whatever until the clock says 0-0-0. So I kind of know what the mindset they coming in with, but it's never about them, it's about us, and we're up for the challenge.
Donna Hopkins, Pro Football Plus, out here at Commanders headquarters after they come off a 10-day break to get ready for the divisional game against the Dallas Cowboys. Can you say it's Dallas week? Oh, yeah. And if you are a Commanders fan years back, even though the rivalry isn't what it used to be, if you were back in those days with the Dexter Manleys, the Charles Manns, the Darrell Greens, all of those guys, you know what Dallas Week means. It's one of those games that you put on your calendar, and if you don't beat another team, you have to beat Dallas. So the excitement is building. I asked some of the players about the rivalry. They don't remember it, but one thing they do know is that they want to beat the Cowboys. In the division, this Commanders team, if they win 3-1, they want to stay pace with the Philadelphia Eagles. So this is an important game for this Commanders team. So I got a chance to talk to some of the players about this coming game, but let's talk a little bit about how we see this game playing out, looking at the Commanders offense that had a little skid the last couple of weeks, but Coach Kingsbury talked about that in his presser. He said that they've got to get back to the basics and nail those things. Players talked about refocus, resetting, and that's something that they pretty much tried to do these last 10 days in talking to them. And who would think that we would be talking about at this stage of the game, the Cowboys at 3-7, losers of their last 5 games. But if you look at the record and everything like that, you can throw it out the window because it does not matter. This is a divisional game, and as the players said, the Cowboys still have some good players over on that side.
Been there for a little minute, so he knows the system really good. I think he's a good quarterback. Trey Lance is really good with his legs, and he's a dynamic quarterback as well. So you don't want to go out there half-stepping against those guys because they do play good football as well.
Obviously, when you play the team you came from, you just have a more urgency or something. I don't know what it is about that, but that's what it is right now for me.
Knowing kind of going up against their offense, for so many times in practice and reps, and can that help in this situation?
Yeah, no doubt. I know pretty much almost the entire line and how they play, so I'm able to give the guys what I can give them and help give them a little advantage.
Talk about just some things going into this game against Dallas and facing them, and what's some key things for you all to do?
I think we just need to come out and play our game, execute the assignment. We know their guys are banged up over there, so I feel like that's an advantage on our end. And we just come out the gate swinging first and let the chips fall where they fall.
It's Dallas week. You played them before and everything, getting ready to get back on track. Talk to me a little bit about this game coming up and just what the focus is.
Oh, man, every week we trying to improve on ourselves and try to find ways to get better our technique, be better playmakers, and just do things to help the team win.
A little bit about just this game coming up against Dallas, some key things that you all need to focus on despite their record.
Yeah, just back to the basics. Like I said, division game, records don't really matter. Everyone's coming to play. They know us well, we know them well, so everyone's going to have to be on their details, and that's what we're focused on, coming out here, getting back to basics, nailing down the details.
Like I said, it was a good time to kind of reset for a weekend and sat around and watched football all week. Got a chance to watch them on Monday Night Football, so got a little tape to get ahead on, and so you use that and you start put in some good practice days this week, Wednesday through Friday, and get ready.
Facing Dallas, you got a chance, like you said, to look at them a little bit. Talk to me a little bit about Dallas and what you saw.
Good unit defensively, great defensive line. I mean, of course, in Micah Parsons, probably one of the better rushers in the league. So you got to try to neutralize him. And, at every level, they got guys that's making plays. So you got to try to come out and execute. That's been the thing that I've talked about a lot. So, and especially in those crucial moments in the game.
Well, this is a fun, interesting game because we have some coaches and players that was on the other side with the Cowboys, and now they're on this side, and hopefully this is the winning side. Coach Quinn talked about, his old team and some of the players, Armstrong, Fowler, some of those guys talked about meeting up with some of their old friends in Dallas, but make no bones about it. They said that, you know what, they want to win this game despite their friends on the other side of the ball. And the good news is for this Commanders team going into this game, they've got some healed bodies. This 10-day break was so key for them to heal up some guys, to get them a little stronger. Brian Robinson Jr. got a chance to talk to him about just, having these days. I asked him what did he do, while he was on this break, and he said just heal up his body. That's what you heard from a lot of the players, the offensive line, get them back healed up, get some of those guys, Cornelius Lucas, and some of those guys that, was nicked up. Being able to have them back in the lineup is going to be key. And, to get that running game going again because, that is their bread and butter. That opens up everything. And let's put to bed about Jayden Daniels. Coach Quinn talked about earlier that he is healthy. He's ready to go, and he just lost some time with the offense when he was going through that rib injury and everything, but he is ready to go. So let's go back to the locker room to hear from some of the coaches about this upcoming game. You got Brian Robinson back in the lineup the other week, and now you're at full speed again with all of your backs back there. Could you talk about a little bit about having them all back and what that enables you to do offensively?
Yeah, I think he and Austin are a great combo, and obviously when Jeremy's had his opportunities, he's done really well, and then C-Rod did a nice job when he got his number called. So those guys feed off each other, they push each other really well, and being able to have Austin, some of that pass game stuff, what he does after catch has been really impressive, and then B-Rob for the tough yards in between the tackles, he's a physical runner. So it definitely helps our attack be more balanced when we have all those guys healthy and going full speed.
And speaking of healthy, could you talk a little bit about the offensive line and having some bodies back there and what that means this week against Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas is a challenge, there's no doubt. They've been a team that's played at a high level for a long time. I know their struggles because of injuries, things of that nature recently, but anytime we can get that O-line feeling healthy and have the depth we've had and have 6 and 7 guys that we know we can rotate through and play at a high level, it definitely helps our confidence as a unit.
Could you talk a little bit about what you like or what you're seeing up front with the pass rush over these last few weeks?
The pass rush, like I said, they've rushed as a unit, and that's what I really like. When you add Frankie to the rush with Dante and D.A., Payne, all those guys, they rush as a unit. There's not a selfish guy that's getting out of his rush lane just because I think I can win. And the times that has happened, we haven't won. We've let the quarterback out. And so and we point that out that if you're going to be selfish, the blitz is not going to work because it's put together in a way that we want to put a wave at the quarterback. We don't have independent contractors. If that's the case, we'll just rush 4, and now you can just cut it loose and go.
And what are some key focal points that you said that we have to do this week on defense?
Well, the main thing that we have to do, the 2 things that we have to do on defense to get to where we want to be in, December, January football, February hopefully, we got to stop the run. Like that's the number one thing that we have to do, not shying away from. That's we looked at the process over these last couple of days of, all right, how can we be better with it? What do we need to do from a coaching standpoint, player standpoint, from a practice, how we're implementing, the techniques, just back to the basics, because you can't give up I think we're at 150 yards a game. You can't do that and think that you're going to win in December football. That's just not how it happens. So we have to shore that up, and then we have to start producing the ball. All right. I think we're covering the pass really well, but we're not producing the ball. And so I don't care if it's fumbles, interceptions, what have you. We need to produce the ball.
Well, once again, Coach Kingsbury talked about nailing the details, in moving forward. And let's just talk about where this Commanders offense ranks right now. Offense overall is 6th, scoring offense, they're 4th, and passing 15th. Sacks allowed 24, so they're hoping to protect Jayden, because in that Pittsburgh game, he was knocked around a lot, and, a lot of pressure on him. So you can't take anything away from the Dallas defense, because even with the record, they're pretty good.
The record doesn't show. I mean, obviously, a very talented team, especially on their defense. They got a lot of guys that can make a lot of plays. You got Diggs in the back end that, he lead the ball inside. He has elite ball skills. They're very athletic. Got a lot of guys that can make plays, run sideline to sideline. So it's going to be fun to go up there and compete against them.
Just being able to reset, and get back to command the ball is what we're trying to do.
Talking about playing for each other, Dallas is 3-7. Probably nobody saw that at the beginning of the season. They lost 5 straight games. What will be the focus this week? Not getting caught up in what the record is or anything like that, but what is the focus for you all going into this game?
I say, you treat it like a regular game, like every week. They're an NFL team for a reason, and anybody can be beat on any given Sunday, so you can't take any team lightly. Their record doesn't explain their play really, because they have a lot of great players, a lot of great pieces. Mike Parsons and all the guys on defense, that type of thing. But, we just go out and control what we can control and don't worry about the other team and just try to be 100% in our responsibility.
How has it been since you've been back? You got your feet a little wet now?
Yeah, I got my feet a little wet, got in there. I got 2 special teams tackles right now. I made a tackle against the Giants and a tackle against the last week against the Eagles, and it was good being back in Lincoln Financial. We didn't end up getting the win, but it's all right. We'll see them again later on, but take it week by week, and that's what we can continue to do. Just we got the Cowboys coming up this week, and we're just preparing each day for them, and get ready to go out and compete.
How key would special teams be this week against the Cowboys?
Very important. They have a great special teams coordinator in Bones. I actually know him from the combine process. I took a 30 visit over there, and it was good meeting him. So getting a feel for him, who he is as a person, what he likes to do as a coordinator, and just go out and be us.
Obviously, coming back to a divisional game against Dallas at home it's a very, very important game, very big game, and we're taking it very seriously as we take every game.
Talk to me a little bit about some key things that you, as a team, have to key in, despite the 3-7 record of this Cowboys team or any like that. It's just what you all's focus will be this week.
Yeah, I don't think the record ever really dictates, how a team plays. It's the NFL. They have great players on both sides of the ball, on special teams. They have explosive players, and it's not something that we take lightly. We know that they're going to come in here, they're going to give us their best shot, and we have to be ready for that. And we have to. At the end of the day, it's about going out there and executing the game plan as best as we can.
And speaking of executing the game plan, special teams is probably going to be a key this coming week. Just talk to me a little bit about how you've navigated through some of the things that, the drops a couple of weeks back, and some things that you saw that you kind of adjusted your game to special teams wise.
Yeah, I think it was just about moving past that and not letting it snowball. Just staying aggressive, knowing that I put the work in, and then just doing the right things off the field to keep me in the moment, and not worry about anything that's happened in the past or the future or anything like that. Just being in the moment. And then, this game is going to special teams is always a big part of the game, but, especially this week, they have a dangerous returner in Turpin, and, I think, keeping him, contained and controlled and not allowing him to, affect the game is a big thing. And then, just doing what we do as a special teams unit, and then, as a team, just playing our brand of ball is what, what we need to do on Sunday.
Did it help also that Coach Quinn and all those guys had such confidence in you that you may have hiccups a few times? Because, as they say, this is a long season. But how did it help to have that confidence from the coach?
Yeah, just the support system here is very good, and I'm very grateful to have the people in the building and on this team to support me. Like you said, I'm not perfect, but I am very resilient, and I don't let things linger, and I move forward from them, and I'm confident in what I'm able to do on the field. But I'm not perfect. Obviously the Pittsburgh game wasn't my best outing, especially as a punt returner. But got to put that past us, and it's in the past already. And then just got to move forward, and just having that support system is definitely big.
You have double roles, punt returner and in the offense as the wide receiver. What is some of the key things, knowing the Dallas defense, that you all have to make sure that you're on your P's and Q's this coming week?
Yeah, I think that the defense is a very opportunistic defense where if you give them a chance to make a play on the ball, they're going to make a play on the ball. So we've been very keyed in on that, and just making sure, like I always say, it's just about us executing our game plan, making sure we do everything, we're on our details, just not letting little things slide, and just being on top of that. And but definitely a very opportunistic defense where if you give them a chance to make a play on the ball, they'll do that.
We know against the Cowboys, it doesn't matter about their 3-7 record. As he said, Coach Witt, they've got players on that side. It doesn't matter who is the quarterback with Cooper Rush. They've got a good receiver in C.D. Lamb. The running game hasn't produced much this year, but you don't want them to have a breakout game against you. So as this team gets prepared to play a divisional game, an important game to stay on pace with the Philadelphia Eagles, they win this game, they go to 3-1 in the division. They win this game, they go to 8-4 on the season. The second half of the season is when it matters even more so, because this is the race to the finish line to see who's going to make the playoffs. But right now, as the coaches say, it's one game at a time. And it doesn't matter, a lot of the coaches that were with the Cowboys last year, they said this is just another game. It's not that it's against their former team, but it's a divisional game that they know that they've got to win. They don't want to lose this game against the Cowboys, but what they have to do in this game is, as I said, it's Dallas week. Not only should they beat this Cowboys team, but they should stomp on them, put them out so that it won't be a conversation about Dallas in this game. They start off strong. They put Dallas out of the game from the first play of the game, and where they're not even in the midst of going down the stretch where they have to fight for this win. They need to beat this Cowboys team into the ground. You think about the Detroit Lions put up 50-some points last week. Hey, I'm not saying the Commanders put up 50-some points, but if they do, I'm okay with that. But they really have to convincingly beat this Dallas team to make just a statement of this offense moving forward, this defense moving forward. So, Donna Hopkins out here at Commanders headquarters as the week gets closer to game time on Sunday. The weather is a little chilly, getting a little chilly. So this should be a fun, interesting game against the Dallas Cowboys. As I say, that it's not the rival as it used to be, but if you are a Commanders fan, one team that you do not want to lose against is the Dallas Cowboys.